All right, testing 1 2. We're back with another Buffum updates. We having a great edition right here because this is the first day of what? Adam, let us know. Introduce us.
Yeah, no, this is the first day back from spring break for the Colorado Buffaloes. They conducted their fourth spring practice today. And the best news came on Sunday when Coach Prime said that every single player made it back. And he said that's the first time in his coaching career that every guy has made it back from spring break because you're dealing with a lot of flights and you're also dealing with 18 to 23-year-olds. And so the fact that everybody was able to make it back was big. And today, from the media standpoint, it was very much a linebacker-centric day. We got a chance to talk to linebackers coach Andre Hart, as well as seniors Trevor Woods and LaVonta Bentley. And once again, it's been confirmed that Trevor Woods is going to be a linebacker going forward. And he said he got sick recently. He's about down to 210 now, but he's hoping to get back up to 220. I was commenting after practice with Brian Howell that if you can get up to that 220 range in this new day and age of college football, that's probably big enough to play there. And it's just crazy that last year he was still meeting with the safeties a lot during the week and then going out and playing linebacker during the season. So we're going to obviously see a Trevor Woods that has had a whole off season of getting in the linebacker playbook and building that chemistry with LaVonta Bentley. And Andre Hart said that right now those are the top two guys there, but one of the names to keep an eye on there, Chico, is Jalen Wester, the brother of LaJohntay Wester, transferred in from FAU, was a guy that the metrics really liked in terms of what he did for the Owls last year. And then Chico, they got to hit the portal too in spring. You got to cultivate some depth at that position.
Oh yeah, I definitely think the portal is what's to come, and that's what Coach Hart has his eyes sighted on right there, or locked on, because he said he was looking to have, a linebacker that could play both pass and run and be, just as good as both. So he feels like he's loving the improvement from Bentley and Woods, but still looking to add. And I think Wester can be that sideline to sideline guy who could play both, who could drop in coverage but can also be in man coverage and play the run additionally. So look out for more changes to come there. We saw Coach Hart, like you said. We saw LaVonta Bentley and Trevor Woods. What are some of the other things Coach Hart had to say in his press conference today?
Well, he talked about the fact that he had conversations with Trevor Woods about what his role was going to look like going forward because they did want to make sure he was not somebody that they were going to lose to the portal. And he's kind of a link to the pastor out here now at this point. It's kind of crazy, all the players that have come and gone in the last 2 years. And Trevor Woods has just every day shown up ready to work. And we've even seen his personality start to shine through a little bit more as he's gotten used to those cameras being around him a little bit more. And so with LaVonta Bentley, I think it kind of got overlooked the improvement that he did make last season. This is somebody that for a second there kind of got benched. They went with Juju Mitchell there for a couple weeks and Bentley didn't play a whole lot. And this is somebody that maybe could have gotten frustrated by that, especially in this new era where guys quickly hit the portal and go somewhere else. But he stuck it out and really benefited him down the stretch, again, because they weren't winning games late in the season. I don't think many people realized, the strides that LaVonta Bentley had made as a linebacker. And maybe he can be more of kind of that all-around linebacker that Coach Hart has been looking for in that room.
Right. I think he's penciled in, like Coach Hart said, as the starter right now. And we have some guys behind him that could really ball out and play too. What were some of the things that Bentley was able to say in his press conference?
He's a hardworking young man and definitely is the lead by example type. And he talked about that he's excited about Robert Livingston coming on board after having 12 years of experience at the NFL level, because that's obviously where LaVonta Bentley's trying to get to. And so the fact that he feels like he can play in a scheme that's going to give him that shot. And, I'm anxious to see what LaVonta Bentley looks like now. He was a guy that was a tackle machine at Clemson early in his career, came in and gradually got better in his first year at Colorado. And now if he can put it all together, he's not the tallest linebacker, but he's a playmaker. And I think he's the guy that does have a chance with a really strong senior season to catch the attention of NFL scouts.
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing he does really have going for him is that leadership, those the leadership qualities. The players respect him, look up to him, especially in that linebacker room. All of them speak highly of him. They love to wear his merch, the TTP, trust the process, and that's what he's doing right now, trusting his process. Coming from Clemson, a Bama native, and coming here to play with Coach Prime and Coach Hart, and really try to fill in and be that guy in that middle because he knows that there are more coming after this spring. And speaking of this spring, I think it's going to be an audition for a lot of these guys, just like last year, but maybe not as many guys as last year, but a lot of guys might be hanging on tail end of the roster. I think it's still an addition, audition for them. Was there anything spoken about, coming up for the spring game, what they're expecting to see overall?
Well, one thing that as I was leaving the indoor practice facility after we did the interviews was thinking we didn't ask Coach Hart about Brendan Gant. That is somebody that is kind of a wild card position at that linebacker position, and it sounds like he's going to get a medical hardship waiver, which will allow him to play a 6th year of college eligibility. He was starting to come on briefly last year, and then he re-injured the knee and just was really never healthy for an extended period of time last year. Another guy that brings a wealth of experience in there. So if you can hit the transfer portal and bring in a couple guys, and they thought they had one in DJ Lundy, but obviously things didn't work out there. There is some pressure, I think, just from a depth standpoint with that group, and unless you have a Kofi Taylor Barrick, some of the younger guys that really make jumps. Yeah, a lot of focus on the linebacker group today, but again, I don't think this is the group that Colorado is going to have top to bottom once they kick off preseason camp, and maybe it will be an audition on that spring game. It's going to be interesting. Chico, is the spring transfer window for non-graduates is going to start on April 15th and go through the 30th. The spring game's not till the 27th, so hopefully guys are willing to be a little bit more competitive than last year when we saw a lot of defensive linemen hitting the portal, and it kind of made it tough for them to have a true spring game. And so that's one of the things you hope to see is these guys at least stick around throughout those spring practices to kind of see where they stand in the pecking order at the different positions.
So interesting. Do you That's a great point you're making. From the 15th to the 30th, the spring game is on the 27th. We saw a lot of people, especially the D linemen, leave before the spring game after going through practices, and then get up to the spring game and decide not to participate and go in the portal. Um, I, I can't. I don't really want to ask. Do you anticipate to see that this year? But what would be the benefit of a player doing that, going through these weeks of practice and then getting a day or two before the game and saying, you know what, I'm not going to participate in the spring game. For me, I would think it'll be a great audition tape to have to then, I could enter the portal the day after the game and have film to send to these coaches. Now, what is your take on that?
Well, that's something that Coach Prime addressed too last year, and he said, "Why would you do that before ESPN's about to air our, spring practice on television?" But I think what it came down to is last year there were a lot of guys that just weren't going to cut the mustard in this new program. They weren't up to snuff, whether it be talent, mentally, whatever the equation was for each guy, and probably their thinking is, let me get in the portal ASAP because you don't want to also be that guy that gets stuck in the portal, right? And that's one of the downsides to this new era of college football is that there's a lot more guys entering the transfer portal that than there are committing out of the portal. So you got guys that just get stuck in there. So that would maybe be the thinking a little bit, but hopefully you've got a little bit more buy-in. And, even talking with Uncle Neely, he said it, Chico. He said there are going to be guys that hit the portal. That is going to happen. This is going to be a program that is going to continue to kind of be this evolving deal in terms of the roster makeup. And it's a new age, and it is what it is. You would like to, I think, ideally at some point get to the point where you're able to have that spring game before the transfer window does open. Initially, the transfer window for non-graduates was going to be in May, and they moved that back. They need to stop tinkering with these calendars and allow these college staffs to set their schedule because now you've got a Colorado coaching staff that's going to have to be kind of working on both ends. They're going to be having to finish up spring ball and also spending a lot of time evaluating guys that are hitting the portal once it opens up on April 15th.
Yes, and we can talk about some of these. You got spring game and spring weekend. We talk about Lil Wayne performing. Talk about the game going on, all the things around it. But here's a big question right here from my girl Mia. Said, "Will the spring game be on TV or streaming?" And I saw a report on that. But Adam, what do you have on that?
The Pac-12 network is not ready to die yet. It's crazy. When I was out in Las Vegas for the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament, right in front of me where I was working, the whole Pac-12 TV crew was basically saying goodbye. Ashley Adamson brought all the crew out there, all the TV staff, and they're basically saying, all right, farewell. Well, the problem for Colorado is you need somewhere to get this game on television. And there's a big thing called the NFL draft happening on April 27th. So ESPN's a little busy trying to cover that. And then Fox, they're kind of, I think, trying to promote the Big Ten brand going forward, because that's kind of how their TV lineups match up going forward in terms of their contracts. So it's unfortunate that we have one more stint on the Pac-12 network, but I really do feel like this is it for the Pac-12 network. They can't keep putting them on there after April 27th.
Right. That's
But the bottom line is good luck trying to find it.
good luck trying to find it, because I had problems trying to download the Pac-12 network, get it to play, watch it, and all type of stuff last year. So, man, if you're not going to be there, you're watching on TV, go ahead and put in the work to get your Pac-12 streaming on your TV so you can be able to watch the game. And unfortunately, for the people who won't be there, Lil Wayne will be performing. That's been announced. And also, there's going to be other people that's going to be announced later on that'll be performing. Any insights that you might have on the Buffs prime time weekend that's coming up?
Not beyond Lil Wayne at this point. I'm kind of bummed out. I'm going to be having to work after covering the spring game, so I don't think I'm going to make it over there in time. But we asked Trevor Woods if he got his ticket. He said he thinks everybody on the team got their ticket. So the whole squad is pretty fired up about this, which is cool. And there's apparently a talent show competition happening on Thursday as well. So that might be kind of a fun thing to stop by and check out before the spring game.
All right. I think you'll have time to get by after you get some work done. It might be a long day for you, but after you get some work done, I think Lil Wayne won't be coming on till later anyway. So
Okay.
you have time to make it over there. Probably could stop home, and if you live nearby, get some food, get energized, and then go back over there and find a way.
I'll be on a Lil Wayne imposed deadline for the spring game. I got to get those typing fingers going fast.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, great media day today after the first official. I would say, would this be the first official day or the second official day? What would we call it?
As far as our media availability, so this was the fourth spring practice, first since the spring break, and it was our third opportunity to talk to guys on the team. And it sounds like there might just be a chance that we get a chance to talk to Warren Sapp later this week. So fingers crossed. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he had a nice introductory, to the team, him and Coach George Hageman. And also we saw an addition of Adalius Thomas from the Ravens, Coach Prime, former teammate. He's on the staff also. So a lot of experience on this staff, over 127 years, I think, was said in the meeting for this staff. So Coach Prime has assembled great experienced staff that's looking to, keep all the heads on straight on this football team, so to speak. So looking forward to it. Any plans for tomorrow? What's the plans for tomorrow as far as media availability?
Well, tomorrow there is no practice, but what there is Xavier Weaver pro timing day. He was not able to participate in the NFL Combine because of a shoulder injury and was still working his way back from that when CU held their bigger pro timing day event. So Zay Weaver's going to get a chance to go out there and showcase himself in front of scouts tomorrow, and then Thursday they'll be back at it with another practice. And yeah, it'll start gearing up a little bit. You start those first couple days, you're not in full pads, and then you come back from spring break and you're kind of working a little bit of that spring break rust off, and then they put those guys to work in terms of the conditioning on Sunday and Monday. So they're now kind of getting back into a flow that they'll be able to sustain here for a few weeks leading up to that spring game on April 27th.
All right. For all additional info, you guys can go to buffstampede.com where you're talking about Shador Sanders being healed up, the new additions to the staff with Coach Prime and Warren Sapp and other additions. Shout out to Coach Phil Lodeholt. I saw him and Coach Sapp kind of meeting up in there in the middle, and I just felt like those two are going to have high competition throughout this year. You saw Sapp even say that he wanted to bring Big Phil out to fish so he can beat him. Either on fishing and golfing, but that competitiveness on and off the field is what I think Coach Prime wanted to bring and breed so that it'll translate to the players also. I'm loving to see it. And let them know, Adam, where they can find you at. And like I said, more additional info.
Yeah, buffstampede.com on the 24/7 Sports Network and on social media at AdamCM777. So, yeah, no, it's a beautiful day out here. And you're also going to see recruiting start to kind of come back into the fold here in terms of them bringing out visitors. And so we'll have more information on that later in the week as well.
All right, stay tuned for more. This has been Buffum Updates once again. I'm Chico. My guy Adam just joined me, and I appreciate it, Adam, once again for us doing this. And just stay tuned, man. We got more to come, more on Buffum Updates and buffstampede.com 24/7 network, and Big Dog Chico Sports Talk on Facebook and so on. Follow us on Twitter also, and we'll be back for more once again. Buffum Updates. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Chico.
All right.